talk today about the sin of judging others with broad strokes, making these judgments and assessments in our head in order to feel that things are easier, in order to feel like we have an understanding of things. The problem with this is that we are making judgments purely based upon what feels easier for us, what feels like it gives us a sense of understanding, rather than dealing in reality, rather than going through the complexities of life and understanding truth in those complexities. Instead, we make these quick judgments in order to feel a sense of control. And this is a sin issue you see in the world all the time, where people, sum up, all of these people are like this, all these people are this, and to go through life, to deal with problems, you just need to get a hold of that group of people. You just need to make a judgment about these things. And I have an understanding about how life works because everything goes like this and everything is like this. And what we need to realize is that this is a sinful attitude. This is something very common in the world. Whatever type of person you are, it's very easy to go into this type of understanding of making these judgments, these over broad stroke, black and white sort of judgments. And the problem is when Christians are walking in this sinful attitude. And what's tragic is that so many people come into Christianity and they begin to see Christianity as a means for a more intense version of that. I can color the world with two different colors of crayons, and this is how the world looks, and this is how to understand, truth, and this is truth. And they think that they're standing for truth, but what they're doing is they're standing for these extremes. And what we do when we join with that desire, when we give in to that desire to oversimplify life and to judge everything in these broad strokes, is that we are failing to really understand truth. We are failing to understand the complexities of life for what they really are and have a real knowledge and understanding that can go into this world and bring light and bring truth into the world. And this is what we should be as Christians. If we think of Jesus, he was always complex, and he was always understanding the complexities around him and having wisdom in those things and dealing in godliness, in righteousness within those things. And he had a very particular wisdom. And this is, the point is, if you choose to have those extreme black and white thinking, then you are going to lose wisdom. And people think that this is going to give them wisdom, but it opposes true wisdom. Many people think that they're being faithful to God because they deal in these extremes, but in reality, they're actually unfaithful to God because they're not really dealing with reality. They're not really dealing with the truth of life and really taking God's word and wrestling to understand God's word within reality. They are denying reality for the truth. They're denying reality for their understanding. When we choose this means that our religion becomes worthless. And that might sound like an extreme, but it's true. Because if we don't understand life as it really is, if we don't understand righteousness for what it really is, and through the complexities of life, and have respect to those complexities, then we don't have a religion that is able to really meet man where man is at. We go right over man's head. We have these high ideas of what's moral, of what's true, what's right, whatever, and we bypass what is actually true and good and right, and we are missing those things. What many people are doing in order to support these broad stroke judgments is actually they begin to suppress the truth in unrighteousness, which is what Romans 1 talks about. They begin lying for their views. They begin lying for their broad stroke, and wants to have this black and white extreme to make them feel like this is good and this is bad, and they don't deal with truth honestly, and they will suppress the truth in order for that ease, in order to feel like they're good, to feel like they're the good guys, to feel like they're the bad guys, and they want to live in that. And that is sin. That's the nature of sin. That doesn't come from God, that comes from sin. Christians are not realizing how this attitude is worldly. This is incredibly worldly, and it's not of Christ. And instead of realizing this and correcting this, so many are using Christianity as a means for this, as believing that Christianity is supposed to be giving you a sense of that kind of that broad stroke, a sense of, I'm the good guy, those are all the bad guy, I understand how everything works in the world, without actually understanding how everything works, and working and laboring for that, and being diligent to the complexities of humanity and life, and dealing honestly with those things. Christianity is in many ways becoming a stronghold for a hard heart rather than coming against that hard heart. So it's important for us to realize that sin issue and be aware of it.